Hey there, how you doing? It's Matthew Hunt from Automation Wolf, and today I'm going to be talking about how you can create impactful, engaging LinkedIn content quickly. So what we're going to talk about today is we're going to first talk about why you must capitalize on this right now. We're also going to look at some examples that are proven posts that are crushing it, and I'm going to get into the 10-minute framework for creating viral posts. Also, if you stay to the end, I'm going to share with you on how you can swipe my secret swipe files on creating viral posts on LinkedIn. So here's the reason why you really want to start participating and posting on LinkedIn. There is 9 billion impressions every week on LinkedIn. And there's only about 3 million users who share content weekly. So of the 500 million total LinkedIn users, 250 million monthly active users, only 3 million share content on a weekly basis. That's just over 1% of monthly users. And what this means, it means that 3 million users are getting 9 billion impressions each week. So basically, if you post, you are getting the most incredible reach that you could get on any social network. This reminds me of the good old days when Facebook organic reach really went far. Or if you were an early adopter on Twitter and Instagram, you could build a huge personal brand just by posting. You know, what's happened on those other networks is it's gotten so noisy that people post so much that it's barely seen in the news feed without running sponsored ads. Well, here on LinkedIn, you have a great opportunity, who knows for how long, that if you just post, you're going to get a great reach. And you can see right here, even my poster here, this was literally like 4 or 5 days ago from when I was making this video. And it's continuing to grow. I've already got 12,000 views on this video that I've put and a whole bunch of engagement, almost 350 likes and 200 comments. That is pretty incredible for free posting. Talk about free advertising, right? So I want to say, something really interesting about this is that these viral posts, they're really not written, okay? They are assembled with a formula, and I can guarantee to you that this is true because I'm a dyslexic. I am not a talented writer by any means. I am using a very simple formula that anybody can apply. It takes about 10 minutes to do it to be able to create a post. And in fact, I've even created an entire database of swipe files that are more like fill in the blank to make it really easy for you. And like I said, if you stay to the end, I'm going to share with you how you can get access to that free swipe file. So just imagine what kind of, awareness you could build for your personal brand when you're getting, these many likes and comments and engagements on your free posts on LinkedIn. Here's a post that reached 34,000 people in 21 hours. This was just literally posted like a day ago from me making this presentation here. What would your personal brand look like if you're getting this kind of daily exposure? Can you imagine this many people? And you got to remember, LinkedIn, these are all business professionals. The average income of a person who's active on LinkedIn is $75,000 or more. These are people who are high income earners. These are real influencers. And it doesn't matter if you're an entrepreneur or if you're a coach or a consultant or even an employee that's working at a job. This will create so many opportunities for you if you just post daily, okay? I recommend 1 post per day, but even if you can't commit to 1 post per day, everybody can commit to at least 1 post per week. That's a great place to start. Here's another post. You can see how simple this post is. I am literally using a formula that's called the before and after formula. And I've got a whole swipe file of these. I've got so many of them that you could just take in less than 10 minutes, you could write a great viral post that goes big. You can see this one was just written 3 weeks ago for me doing this presentation. It had 22,000 views. Can you imagine if every day you had this many views on you and your personal brand? It starts to add up. So if you want to learn how to do this, stay tuned to the rest of the presentation. So why this is important is not only, at the end of the day, that this is a great opportunity right now, but whether you realize it or not, everyone has a personal brand, okay? And the last thing you want to do is start working on your personal brand when you need it. Like all of a sudden you go through a life change, like a career change. You don't want to start posting then and start looking. What you already want is you want a group of rabid fans who already know you. And that way, when you have a career change, you just need to make one post and you're going to be able to create tons of opportunity. In fact, opportunity is just going to be knocking on your doorstep all the time when you start posting regularly like this. So this is why it's important, and it's important that you do it sooner than later. And all you're looking for really is your 1,000 true fans. If you haven't read the blog post before by Jeff Kelly that talks about how to acquire your 1,000 true fans, I highly recommend that you go to Google, do a little search called 1,000 True Fans, and read that essay. It's a very important essay that everybody should read and that everybody wants. All you need is 1,000 people who are your raving fans. They would show up to hear you speak, they would buy your swag, etc. If you have that and you build that, doesn't matter if it takes you a few months to build it or if it takes you a few years to build it, you will always be okay. You will do just fine in your career. All right. Really, really important that you start building that today and start giving away all your best ideas to do that. And if you give away your best ideas, you're going to start to attract your raving fans. So be brave, follow these formulas, and start posting. Like I said, earlier, here's the reason why you want to start now. Just like we always tell you, this famous question that's always asked, when's the best time to plant a tree? Well, 20 years ago, of course, but when is the second best time to plant a tree? Well, it's today. So after this, training, and after you get some of the swipe files, I want you starting today, if not for sure tomorrow, to start taking action on posting on LinkedIn. So here's the formula and 3 steps to be able to post viral posts on LinkedIn. Step 1 is you really need to provoke interest, right? So this is essentially the headline. Everybody knows the headline is the most important part to anything. If you speak to any copywriter, they'll spend 80% of the time on writing the headline and 20% of the time on the rest of the content. Same thing with the first sentence, right? That's the hook. It's always explaining what's the outcome if you're going to read the rest. And remember, on LinkedIn, there's always that little ... see more after a sentence or two when you write it that you want people clicking on. So we need to hook them. Step 2, you must provide actually real information, reveal information, useful information, build some goodwill, right? And then step 3, you must inspire action. Your post must inspire action like, a comment, a visit to your website, a direct message, a share of the post, etc. And you'll get that if you first hook them and then 2, provide actual, real, useful information. Okay. And the reason why you want to inspire action is because LinkedIn wants to keep people on LinkedIn, and they reward people who engage with content, which means like dwell rate of reading the content, playing the video to the end, right? Liking or commenting, or resharing your post. These are all signals of positive sentiment that people are enjoying your content. And when they do that, they reward your content and share it with more people. And if people engage with the content, they'll share more of your content to them, making it easier and easier as you go. So when you start out, it's not necessarily easy to get as many likes and views and shares as I have. But if you stay consistent with it, where you're posting every single day, at least once a day, or at least once a week, and just stay consistent with it, that this will start to add up and grow, because LinkedIn is going to start sharing your stuff with people who want to see your stuff because they engaged with it, right? Because their goal is always to share more stuff that people are engaging with so they stick around longer. That's their primary goal, is to create a wonderful experience and to increase the amount of time that people stay on LinkedIn. And the way they do it is by sharing stuff that they already like. So that's what you want to have in there, and that's why it's important. Now I'm going to share with you a very simple matrix on how you can create your content. And this is how you're going to be able to do it in 10 minutes, okay? The first step is looking at the topic. What is the topic, okay? You got to figure out what is the topic, and what you can do is you can literally print out this slide, assuming that you can download it. If not, just draw this on a piece of paper. It could even be on a paper napkin. It's just a matrix, and it's a 3x3 matrix, right? There's 9 squares, and in the first square, you just write down topic, and then you come up with what's the topic about, right? Is this about AdWords? Is this about email? Is this about thought leadership? Is this about HR? Doesn't matter what it is, write the topic in here so you know what you're talking about. Step 2, okay, is the purpose. What is the purpose of this content, right? What do you want? What is the major takeaway that you want people to have, right? Is this information? Is this a tip? Is this for them to think? Is this to emotionally move them, etc.? How are you going to deliver this content is the next thing. Like, what type of post is it, right? Is this a how-to? Is this a video? Is this a rant? Is this a script-based dialogue post, etc., right? You want to figure out what that is. The next step that you want to figure out is you want to figure out what is the hook? What is that first sentence? What is that headline that's going to make them want to read more? So that first sentence really needs to trigger some sort of curiosity and make them want to read more or deliver some kind of promise. All right. After that, we need to set the scene, okay? Before you get into actually sharing information, you need to set the scene. Everybody loves an underdog story. Everyone loves the hero's journey. It's just baked into everything that we do, right? Because it's baked into all advertising, baked into all media. We love that. And so what you want to do is paint the picture of what your life was like before you had an epiphany, right? This is the next step, an epiphany. So you paint the scene about what was not working for you, and then how you had an epiphany. And then you teach people, okay? You teach them what to look for, okay? And what to look out for. Because when you teach people what to look for and what to look out for, you're positioning yourself as an expert. And when you're an expert, you're seen like a doctor, you're seen like a dentist, you're seen like a chiropractor or a lawyer. And what do these people do who are experts? They can just prescribe, right? And people love experts. So what you want to do is first tell them what was the problem you were having, right? Your epiphany of how you overcame it, the hero's journey. Now what you need to look for so I can save you some time and look out for. And then you need some sort of very simple CTA that is easy to act on and is rewarded for doing it. You want to reward them for this good behavior and make it really, really easy. So let me give you an example of how I'd fill this out, okay? So here's how I would fill this out, all right? First, I'd go with, hey, I talk a lot about cold email because that's what I do. I have a company that does cold outreach, right? And it helps B2B businesses scale their sales through automating the prospecting so they can cherry pick the very best clients. So I'm going to talk about email. That's the topic, or more specifically, it'd probably be cold email. All right. The purpose of this post is to educate people. Okay. The type of post that it's going to be, you have to decide, is it going to be a how-to, a question and answer, a mistake, a rant, a case, a study, a story, an offer, an update, even different mediums. You know, is it going to be a text-based? Is it going to be image-based? Is it going to be video-based? Is it going to be document-based as well too? You got to think about what is it going to be. So usually I do a lot of video. I specifically choose video because it's hard to duplicate and steal. Sometimes you write things and it's okay. People stealing stuff is a compliment. Nothing gets better than being complimented when someone's borrowing what you've used. We've all done it before. we all borrow from the greats. We all stand on the shoulders of giants. And sometimes you need to mimic for a while to really get down your own style and your own voice. And that's totally okay. It's actually better for you to do that and be posting than not posting at all. And that's one of the reasons why, if you stay to the end, I'm going to give you my fill in the blank swipe file. And it may not be your voice, but it's a great way to start out, is to just start filling in the blanks and using a bit of a formula that makes it really easy. So you got to come up with this. Just write this in the box here, what it is. You can do it. Next, you got to come up with a hook. So here, I'm going to write a hook here. It says 7 things I learned after sending 37,411 cold emails. Now, notice I did a few things here, right? That's a hook. So it forces you to want to click on that next thing that says see more. It also only engages with people who might be interested in cold emails, right? Which is great. I'm repelling all the people who would not be interested in this and attracting all the people who would be, which is perfect for me. And I'm using very specific numbers. So this is what you want to do. Come up with a great hook that's going to do this. Next, you want to come up with setting your scene. So I would explain how I used to have a lead gen problem for my digital marketing agency. But then I'm going to say how I had an epiphany, right? I used to sell inbound marketing, but I got my leads through outbound. And it was a bit of a conflict because I sold inbound marketing, but yet I had to get my leads through outbound. I could explain through that, but that's my epiphany, right? And then I can teach people what to look for, and I'd list off some things of what to look for, like 5 do's when sending cold email. And then I'd also share a couple do nots, right? List 2 do nots when sending cold email. And that would offer some sort of CTA like this. I'd say, hey, comment swipe file if you want my best cold email template, right? It's really that simple. And then what I would do is, once I have this matrix here, is I would put this in front of me, and I like to make a quick video. And I can just look at these points and talk through it real quick. And it turns out that it'll be somewhere between a 2-minute and a 7-minute video. Don't worry about length as long as you're being authentic and that you are providing real value, right? Those are the 2 most important things. Just be yourself, right? Send out your vibe and attract your tribe. So there's the formula on how to do that. If you want to print this off and use that, I find that if you just get this little framework, it'll take you 5 minutes to fill out something like this, and then you've got it. And then you can either write that in text-based, or you can turn it into a graphic using Canva, or you can make a video, or you could even do like an audio thing and put your image up there, kind of like a mini podcast. All of those are great ways to post things on there. You can turn it into a document or a PDF. It works great. So this is how you create content quickly in about 10 minutes. And this is the formula that you use to create viral posts. Now that you stayed to the very end, I'd like to show you how you can get one post from me every single week. It's going to be a swipe file of a fill in the blank viral post that you can just fill it in and post it yourself to start posting every single week. So it makes it really easy for you. So I'll send you one per week. It'll include probably sometimes a video, because I love making videos, and I'll do a bit of a teardown, explain why the posts work, and show you some examples of posts that work like this so that you can go and write your own. And if you fill in the blank properly, it'll be unique. It'll come across as just yours. And where you want to go for that, to be able to get that swipe file, is just go to automationwolf.com/post swipe file. It's totally free. Just enter your information, and I'll drip those viral post examples out to you, one per week. And that'll hopefully inspire you to write more, as well as give you the one that you need per week to make it really easy for you to start posting on LinkedIn. I can't encourage you enough on doing this. I've literally gone from, in a year and a half, from about 2,000 people in my network to 23,000 followers following this very simple process, where and I don't even post necessarily every day. And I've had even breaks in between there where I haven't even posted in a month at times, because, it happens, life gets you. But I still stuck with it over the last year and a half. And by posting fairly regularly, I was able to build up my network and awareness of my personal brand. and it's also generated a lot of leads for my business. And this would work whether you have a career or a business. I can't encourage you enough to go out there and do that. If you enjoyed this, please let me know. Also, feel free to come on over and visit me on LinkedIn. Just search for me at Matthew Hunt, and you can connect with me or give me a follow. Reach out and direct message me what was the most useful thing in this presentation for you. And I hope you have a brilliant day. Bye for now.